Today, I'm diving deep into the debate of self-hosting versus cloud for development, and I'm challenging myself to find out which one truly reigns supreme. But here's the thing. This isn't just another cloud is better or self-host everything argument. The answer might surprise you. Every developer faces this decision at some point, and most get it wrong the first time. Why? Because they pick a side before understanding what actually matters. So let's break this down together. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to make the right choice for your projects. The world of development is rapidly evolving, and one of the most critical decisions developers face today is where to host their projects. Whether it's self-hosting on your own servers or relying on cloud services, the choice can significantly impact the success of your project. As more businesses and individuals move online, understanding the pros and cons of each option has become increasingly important. Get this wrong, and you could be bleeding money on infrastructure you don't need. Or worse, you could be exposing sensitive data because you chose convenience over security. The stakes are real, so let's make sure you understand what's actually at play here. When choosing between self-hosting and cloud solutions, developers often find themselves in a dilemma. Cost is a significant factor. Self-hosting requires substantial upfront investment in hardware and infrastructure. Cloud services, on the other hand, offer a pay-as-you-go model. Security is another major concern. Self-hosting allows for complete control over your data, but also places the burden of protection on your shoulders. Scalability comes into play too. Cloud services often provide easy scalability, but at a potentially higher cost. Then there's maintenance. With self-hosting, you're responsible for updates and repairs, which can be time-consuming. Cloud providers usually handle maintenance, but may have scheduled downtimes. 5 factors, 5 trade-offs. Let's dig deeper into each side. Let's dive deeper into self-hosting. Self-hosting gives you full control over your data and applications. For instance, if you're working on a project that requires specific configurations or high levels of security, self-hosting might be the way to go. A good example is a company handling sensitive client information. They might prefer self-hosting to ensure maximum data protection. Think about it. Your data never leaves your premises. You control who accesses it. You decide how it's encrypted. You own the entire stack. For compliance-heavy industries like healthcare or finance, this level of control isn't just nice to have. It's often required. And here's another advantage that's often overlooked. Predictable costs. Once you've made the initial investment, you know exactly what you're paying month over month. No surprise bills. However, self-hosting also means you're responsible for handling any issues that arise, which can be daunting. Server goes down at 3 a.m. That's on you. Security vulnerability discovered? You need to patch it. Hardware failure? Better have backups ready. You'll need in-house expertise, or at least someone on call. System administrators, network engineers, security specialists. These aren't cheap. And time. So much time. Updating operating systems, monitoring for threats, managing certificates, troubleshooting network issues. For a small team or solo developer, this burden can be overwhelming. Every hour spent on infrastructure is an hour not spent building your product. It's a real trade-off you need to consider carefully. Cloud services, on the other hand, offer flexibility and scalability. They're perfect for projects that expect to grow rapidly or need to be accessible from anywhere in the world. Companies like Netflix and Dropbox rely heavily on cloud services to provide seamless experiences for their users. Netflix serves over 200 million subscribers globally. Could they do that with self-hosted infrastructure? Maybe. But the cloud makes it dramatically easier. The cloud gives you instant access to computing power that would take months to provision yourself. Need 100 servers for a product launch? Click a button. Done. Geographic distribution is built in. Your app can run in data centers across the globe, reducing latency for users everywhere. This is infrastructure that would cost millions to build yourself. Available on demand. The advantages of cloud services are compelling. Reduced upfront costs, no need to buy servers, racks, cooling systems, or lease data center space. You pay for what you use. access to a wide range of tools and services, managed databases, machine learning platforms, content delivery networks, authentication services, the list goes on. Built-in redundancy and failover systems. If one server dies, another takes over automatically. Your users never notice. For a developer working on a project with stringent uptime requirements, cloud services might be more suitable due to these built-in reliability features. Automatic scaling means you handle traffic spikes without lifting a finger. Your app stays fast even when it goes viral. However, there are potential downsides. Dependence on internet connectivity is obvious. No internet, no access to your infrastructure. Security risks exist if not properly managed, misconfigured permissions, exposed storage buckets. These make headlines regularly. Costs can escalate quickly. That pay-as-you-go model sounds great until you see the bill after a busy month, or when you accidentally leave expensive instances running. Vendor lock-in is real. Once you've built your entire system around one cloud provider's proprietary services, switching becomes painful and expensive. And you're trusting someone else with your data. For some businesses and some regulations, that's simply not acceptable. Know these risks before you commit. So, which one is better? It turns out the answer depends heavily on your specific needs. If you're working on a project that requires a high degree of customization and control, self-hosting might be the better option. You need specific hardware. You have strict compliance requirements. You want predictable costs at scale. On the other hand, if you're looking for scalability and flexibility, cloud services could be the way to go. You're a startup that might grow 10x next year. You need to move fast. You don't have infrastructure expertise in-house. The best approach? Be honest about your requirements. Make a list. What's non-negotiable? What's nice to have? Don't choose based on hype or what other companies do. Choose based on your actual situation. Consider a startup. They might begin with cloud services for easy scalability. Why? Because in the early days, you don't know if you'll have 100 users or 100,000. The cloud lets you start small and scale up. Pay only for what you need. Focus on building your product, not managing servers. But as they grow and require more control, they might switch to self-hosting. Dropbox famously did exactly this, moving from AWS to their own infrastructure and saving millions. This hybrid approach is often the smartest path. Cloud for experimentation, self-hosting for stable, predictable workloads. Understanding your project's unique demands is crucial to making the right choice at the right time. In conclusion, choosing between self-hosting and cloud services is a critical decision. It depends on several factors: cost, security, scalability, maintenance, control. There's no universal right answer. What works for Netflix won't work for a local healthcare provider. What works for a startup won't work for a bank. By weighing these factors against your project's specific needs, you can make an informed decision that sets your project up for success. Don't let anyone tell you one option is always better. The best choice is the one that aligns with your reality, your budget, your team, your requirements, your growth trajectory. That's the truth about self-hosting versus cloud. If you've had experiences with self-hosting or cloud services, I'd love to hear about them in the comments below. What worked for you? What surprised you? What would you do differently? If you want to learn more, check out our other videos on the channel for more developer tips and best practices. Like this video if it helped you think through this decision. Subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, happy coding!